So, Ernie, what did you think about Avengers Endgame?
Well, it was alright, apart from the incest.
What? Hello everyone and welcome to a very special edition of Movies in a Nutshell, where we talk about movies in a quick way, usually so you can get on with your day. I'm your amazing, spectacular host, Detective Artemis, and before we go on, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, choke it, make him call you daddy, because I know it, he knows it, Black Widow and Gamora know it. You really want to like this.
Please? So today we're going to be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, you can watch Art's spoiler-free review that he dropped. Or, hit that watch later button, go watch the movie, and then come back here so you can join in the conversation.
Go.
This episode was sloppily brought to you by
Fat Tire. Make sure you grab yourself a nice, crisp, refreshing Fat Tire. It's smooth and not very hoppy. Fat Tire.
Please sponsor us.
Please. I need my problems enabled. So, really, what were your overall thoughts and first impressions about the movie?
This movie it means a lot. It's a cinematic masterpiece. It's a cinematic event that we've never ever seen before. 22 movies, almost 10 years in the making. We've all watched the movies. We've hated them, we've loved them, we've talked shit about them, we've had our favorites. This is our gift for sticking with Marvel for 10 years and becoming fans. This is everything we've ever wanted, and I feel like there was absolutely no way they could have messed this movie up. It kind of came together on its own.
This will be talked about for many decades to come, and 10 years, 11 years actually, is a big part of our lives. So in a way, we all grew up with it. A good chunk of our lives is dedicated to that movie. So I think it is beyond a movie experience and more of a big pop culture thing, and it transcends a general movie experience, thus making it more of a movie, or more than a movie, sorry. So it's great.
Yeah, did you watch, the first one was obviously Iron Man, right? So
yes.
Did you watch it when it first came out?
I did, actually. I was in theaters. I watched it, and it was really good. I never liked Iron Man. I always thought he was a regular annoying C-lister, but then Robert Downey came into the picture and injected a ton of charisma with his hyper wit and everything, so it was good. And the end credit scene kind of started the trend of now putting end credit scenes in superhero movies now. So a lot of credit has to go to Iron Man, and it went head to head with fucking Dark Knight. And when Dark Knight came out, no one was really talking about Iron Man. So now here they are, with their own haha, fuck you DC kind of thing back to them. So it was great.
What was your favorite movie from all of them, from all 23 movies, Endgame not included?
Okay, in no particular order, definitely Winter Soldier was easily one of the best ones. Guardians of the Galaxy one, but I also really like part 2 as well, so I'm gonna give it to both of them. Civil War was great because we finally got to see these heroes beat the shit out of each other, and especially the airport scene is one of the greatest scenes in any comic book movie. Definitely Thor 2, The Dark World, easily my favorite one. Said nobody ever.
I'll have to agree. I think that's kind of like my same list, except my number one's got to be Civil War. I mean, because one, it introduced my favorite character, our favorite character, Spider-Man.
Spidey.
And it also kind of gave us a hint that, Civil War, this is basically the small kind of test run of what bringing a bunch of superheroes into one screen is going to be like. Yeah. It kind of gave us the window of how Infinity War and Endgame was going to happen. They also introduced Black Panther and Spider-Man, which is easy, probably everyone's favorites.
Yeah, Black Panther stole every scene he was in.
He was great. And then Winter Soldier, because it's just a great standalone movie. It does not need to be part of the Marvel franchise.
And the fight scenes are amazing. Beautifully shot. And they actually showcase Captain America's fighting abilities really well, and not just him throwing the shield in 3D slow motion like in the first Avenger. This actually made him like a legit badass hand-to-hand master that he is. So that was also cool.
So Endgame basically just grabbed all the juicy, greatest parts of every single movie, and this is what it was. 3 hours of just... It didn't even feel like 3 hours.
Some parts it kind of dragged on, but yeah, overall, some movies that are actually shorter in length felt longer compared to this one. So this is no easy task. So kudos to the Russo brothers for making such a long movie not feel like a long movie at all. But yeah, like they said, that every hero, every movie, every moment led to this massive payoff. So despite having, to me, some ups and downs in the middle of the movie, the ending makes everything completely worth it.
Do you want to go first, or do I go first about talking our favorite scenes?
I think you should go first. People have had enough of me for a while, so please take the ball.
It's got to be the one moment where I was stunned throughout the whole entire movie and just taking it all in. I actually didn't even move until this part, and it has to be that moment where Thanos is just beating the shit out of Thor and about to kill him, and then just hammer to the back of the head. Threw the hammer. It was Cap. He's worthy. And then my favorite part was how Thor was like, I knew it. And it brings you back to the scene where everybody was trying to lift the hammer, and the only person to ever budget was Cap. And it's dope because Thor he wasn't upset, he wasn't surprised, he was happy that, you know what, my friend is worthy.
Like, my man.
Nobody else was able to lift that hammer. Vision doesn't count, but no one else has been able to lift that hammer, and it's Cap, our boy, our American ass.
The American ass lifts up Mjolnir. It was easily probably one of the best scenes. I absolutely agree. I think all of us kind of like stood up, or were too shy to actually stand up because they want to look like an idiot. But we mentally stood up, and it was a very great scene. And he was rocking the shit out of him. He was throwing his shield and the hammer at him, bouncing him all like a fucking pinball machine.
He did this like amazing, it happened so fast. It was like this, he throws a shield and then the hammer like reflects off the shield and causes a shockwave.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Or even in the first Avengers movie where like Thor's like, you want me to put the hammer down? And he hits the hammer on like shield and does that shockwave. Just sort of, I guess, not really foreshadowing, but it's a little cool thing to look back on. Like, here they are working together in the first Avengers movie, and here they are again working together, but in a different kind of way. So I thought that was absolutely one of the best scenes.
And also, it feels awesome because apart from Cap having the super soldier serum in him, he's human.
Yeah,
he's human. He was this tiny American boy who joined the army, wimpy, smaller than us, and he became this, and now he's wielding a weapon that only gods and celestial beings have been able to wield. And we have our just regular American human boy rocking the shit out of the hammer. It was hilarious too when they accidentally swap, and he has the axe.
He's like, no, you get the hammer, you get the small one.
You get the small one. And
speaking of Thor, Fat Thor is easily my spirit superhero. He's fighting Thanos with a Stormbreaker and a fucking beer belly. It was great. I'm like, dude, if he can fight Thor, then I probably don't definitely have a chance. But I like to try it. It's great.
It's great. That was dope. And I think he is the new mood for men. He had the whole hippie look. He goes into
total Big Lebowski.
He goes into God mode, and suit comes in, and then he has all the braided hair, and I'm like, dude, you look so Rasta.
That's funny. When that happened, he was getting all his power back. I thought for some reason his weight will magically disappear. It was still there. It was still there. So I think that added a lot to it.
So what was your favorite scene?
Well, I was gonna say that one, but damn, I gotta think about it.
You should have gone first.
I should have gone first. God damn it. I'm going to go with how they just kill Thanos right away in the first 15, 20 minutes.
Oh my God, that was so quick to the point.
It was pretty shocking because you're like, where the fuck does the movie go now? We're going to spend 3 hours just getting them back. So to me, that was the start of the direction they were going to go. But I was confused for at least a good another 20 minutes, I guess. It was shocking. It was a pretty bold move on their part. So... damn.
That's what I loved. It was impactful. It really caught your attention. I didn't even know the movie had started. It just straight up went into the whole heartbreaking scene with Hawkeye, or what is he now, Ronan? Mm-hmm. And from there it leads straight into let's take out Thanos. And it was so quick. Captain Marvel dishes in, Thor, and they just pin him down, and he went for the head. Yeah,
he even said, well, what happened? I went for the head. It was funny because it happened so quick. The movie just started, and my fiance's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, nothing's gonna happen. And she comes back, she's like, what I missed? Yeah, they killed Thanos. She's like, what?
Well, it was satisfying, but at the same time, what was the point of it?
Yeah,
it was you lopped his head off, but everybody's still dead, and there's no way to fix it.
It's great because in Infinity War, Vision dies twice, and now he gets his revenge because Thanos, he dies twice in the movie. I'm sure he's laughing somewhere.
Wait, he's not exactly a real human being, so does he have a spirit? Does he have a soul?
Well, he's an android. He's probably in our computer right now or something. I hope he's not looking in my incognito mode.
That's incognito mode doesn't work that way.
I don't get technology.
So since we're on the subject of like Thanos dying twice and Vision dying, let's talk about all the people that are gone.
People had to die. That was just the price that had to be made.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, Phil Coulson, he's still dead. I don't really count Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Remember, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. If you gotta blow Thanos, get him distracted, you gotta do it.
They said whatever it takes, and you know what? I feel like it took a lot. We connected to Thanos in Infinity War when he murdered his own daughter. And we thought that, it's just he was using his daughters for his evil acts, but no, the dude really loved Gamora. He really loved her, and to sacrifice her for the stone, for his ideals and his morals and his goal and his destiny, he sacrificed the daughter that he loved. He cried. Like he cried. It's like it's heartbreaking and also very confusing when the enemy, the villain, cries and you feel for him.
Yeah, they absolutely humanized Thanos. He was like, damn, I killed my daughter. Not my real daughter, but still her like she was my real daughter. Damn, that sucked. Let me get that stone. Yeah. Gotta go.
And he's probably the best villain we've ever seen.
That's crazy because there's 20 movies and there's really not that many memorable villains in the Marvel movies. I mean, you got Killmonger. Yes, you have Killmonger, who was a great villain. Yeah. You have Thanos, and I can't think of any other really good villains right now. I mean, no one remembers.
Does Bucky count as a villain when he was Winter Soldier?
That's true. He was a good villain too, but then he kind of like reformed, so it kind of doesn't count.
Red Skull. Everybody loves a Nazi.
Red Skull was cool, but then he just kind of goes away and guards the Soul Stone. So,
yeah.
To me, there's only really 2 good villains in all the Marvel movies. It kind of sucks because you need a strong villain, but we got Thanos, so that's okay.
So the Soul Stone sacrifices were probably the most impactful, like emotionally, because these weren't just deaths; these were like sacrifices, and sacrifices are the most emotional. So I never saw Black Widow's death coming. Like,
nope.
And it was it sucked because during that scene when they're there for the Soul Stone, I was looking at Scarlet and I'm like, this is the cutest I've ever seen her. I love ponytails, and like she had her hair braided in like the red and the blonde. I was like, you are so cute in this movie. I love you. I'm just falling in love with you all over again. And then she fucking dies. Do not pretty her up for her death. That sucks. I really wanted Ronan to die.
I see Scarlett Johansson, and for some reason I think of Home Alone 3 because she was a sister, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know that.
I think about Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
She was great in that movie.
David Arquette. Anyways, so Gamora dies when in Infinity War. That was pretty rough. That was a pretty powerful moment. And then Black Widow fighting with Hawkeye or Ronan, whatever the fuck his name is, Clit Barden? Clit. Anyways. So they're fighting over who's gonna die, and it was pretty crazy because these two just had nothing to lose. They're like, to me, it made the scene really good. And when she died, I did not expect her to die, but it made sense, and it was like she was like more of the driving force, kind of like how Coulson was in the first Avengers movie to really push them together.
Yeah, she took over what Nick Fury should have been doing.
Yeah. And speaking of Nick Fury, he had the easiest paycheck. Didn't say a line. He showed up. He Mark Hamill the shit out of it in Force Awakens. That was great. I want to be that guy. Anyways, and also deaths. The biggest death, obviously, Tony Stark, Iron Man. I think it was very fitting because he pretty much started the MCU. And one of his big character flaws is that he was a selfish, self-centered person who wouldn't really do anything for anyone else if it wasn't himself. And here he does the ultimate sacrifice by killing himself to save literally billions of people, including his friends and family. So his arc, pun intended, is complete. So that was very powerful. Easily the saddest moment.
So Tony, if we had to say, he's probably the main character when it comes to the whole Infinity Saga.
Yeah, started with him, ended with him.
We get to Infinity War where basically they foreshadowed I knew he was going to die since Infinity War. I mean, why would Strange give up the stone? Even the bald-headed chick from Doctor Strange.
Tilda Swinton, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, why did he give up the stone? His job was to protect it.
And they're like, oh, well, if he just did like that, then he must know the outcome. And that's why he was like... So...
Is the Time Stone is probably the strongest one out of all of them, right?
I would pick the Time Stone if I were to have a choice. Because, I mean, time, you know everything and you can control time. That way I can make a week feel like just a day and I can just do random stuff.
I had a feeling it's like all for that one moment where Thanos was supposed to kill Tony, and it's like, oh, dude, sacrifice a stone for Tony. That means that Tony is crucial for the end game. And when the movie was going through, my thoughts were, I guess like Doctor Strange sacrificed a stone because Tony's the one person that can figure out time travel.
Right. He knew the only outcome that would work, and it involved Tony.
Yeah. And
himself.
I thought it was just the time travel thing. Mm-hmm. But then, damn. That was that moment where Tony turns around and looks at Strange, and it's like only one possibility. And
he's like, I'm Iron Man. And that's what, obviously a callback from the first movie. Speaking of callbacks, we have a few we want to talk about as well. Like at the end, where his daughter Morgan, she's like, I want a cheeseburger. Another callback to Iron Man 1, because what's the first thing he does when he comes back from beating fuck his name, Iron Mongol? He's a fucking Burger King cheeseburger. So I thought that was pretty neat. Another cool callback is where Captain America's in the elevator.
All the time traveling parts, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of somewhat could be argued retcon, but there was still a lot of cool callbacks.
We see Natalie Portman. Everybody was like, hey, Natalie Portman was at the red carpet. This is saying something. And it did. She had 5 minutes, no lines?
No lines. Easy paycheck.
But she was in the movie.
I want to get that status.
She was cute. I love the little part where Rocket's like, oh man, I'm about to shank this bitch.
Sadistic Rocket. Love that guy.
I love him. There was the one thing with Tony and his dad. That was emotional as shit.
Yeah.
We had a Cap with
looking at Peggy Carter, looking at the ghost of their past, and they get the closure they needed. Tony gets the closure from his dad.
Thor and his mom.
Exactly, yeah. And then you see Cap kind of seeing that, man, from the beginning, he just wanted to be with Peggy.
Since forever. He even made out with her granddaughter. We'll talk more about that in a bit. You'll see what I mean.
To me, those are the main ones and most noteworthy. I mean, no one else that I can think of that was important kind of talked to any of their ghosts of the past. It was Thor. He got the thing he needed to be himself again. And you see, like I said, Tony get his closure from his dad, and then Captain America foreshadowed ultimately his ending. Because throughout the movie, you just see him looking at Peggy's picture. So we knew there was going to be a payoff to that, which I'm glad they did, because pretty sad.
Yeah.
Some Nicholas Sparks shit.
Well, we knew that Robert Downey Jr. and also Steve Rogers, Chris Evans weren't going to be in the movie anymore. So I was like, so are they going to die or are they going to get written out?
I honestly thought Captain America was going to die, and it seemed pretty apparent when he was getting the shit rocked out of him by Thanos, and he was slowly getting up. But the way they did obviously made more sense. But I thought Cap was going to die.
I felt me too. I felt it was really abrupt and weird how they kind of wrote him out. It's it felt really out of place, but I would not ask for it any other way. He basically wrote his own ending. Yeah,
basically. And then how they when they were at the end, he was going to put the stones back and everything, it was oh, where'd he go? And then you just see him in the distance as an old man sitting down, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. But ultimately Captain America lived his life. He lived the perfect life he wanted with the woman he loved the most, with his super soldier powers. Lucky.
What do you think he did for work?
I don't know. Maybe a lumberjack. I see him as a lumberjack. I see him avoiding the military life.
No, I see him as a preschool teacher.
You bitches don't take a nap.
Language.
You people don't take a nap.
That last scene was actually very iconic, because that was basically him passing down the mantle.
Literally.
And from everybody knew, the possibilities were always Falcon and Bucky.
Yeah.
And that moment was perfect because they were both there, and they looked at each other, and Bucky's like, that's all you, man.
Yeah.
That's all you. I kind of knew that Falcon was going to get it.
But in the comics, Bucky gets it before Sam. I know. And I honestly was kind of pegging Bucky to get it. I wasn't pegging Bucky, but I was expecting Bucky to get it first, because they hinted the shit out of it in Winter Soldier. And to me, they really hinted at all that Sam was going to get it. And any of the movies, maybe I don't know when they hinted it, but I feel like Bucky was hinted more. So naturally I thought, okay, comics, Bucky, makes sense. But no, they went with Sam. So that's cool. I like Sam. Finally, give him some use.
Oh, but he had a really cool scene when he used the wings to like stab that monster.
On your left, yeah, that was pretty.
That was dope. But I had a feeling that it was just it was going to be Falcon because, well, Winter Soldier, Bucky, he did a lot of things. he killed a lot of people, and he always kind of like felt regretful about it. He even went to go get therapy about it.
So you're saying that he didn't really get his full penance for it yet? His full.
I feel like
he still has like more. I feel like tribulations go through.
Possibly, I feel like he didn't feel like he could hold the mantle. He wasn't good enough.
Maybe mentally ready.
Yeah, mentally ready. He wasn't good enough because of everything. He's always blamed himself for being Winter Soldier.
Right.
So that's why when he said that's all you.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. And he was doing a lot in Infinity War, and this one he was just shooting people with his assault rifle, getting that kill streak up, trying to get that nuke or whatever the hell they have in Call of Duty games now. But that's pretty much what he was doing.
Yeah, he's definitely fifth prestige.
Fifth prestige.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I would actually love to see if both Falcon and Bucky, work together and be an actual team together.
I think they're actually getting a show, aren't they, on the Disney Channel or the Disney Plus streaming service?
I don't watch that shit.
Well, it's not out yet.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when they launch it, it's actually going to have a lot of cool stuff.
I'm going to get the streaming service, yeah.
Yeah, I think they get a show, and then Wanda and Vision get a show called WandaVision. So Vision's going to come back. All right. Android and non-mutant relationships. I hope there's a tape that follows that.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
What?
What I loved so much about Endgame is that with practice throughout the last couple of movies, they made an amazing job with the dynamic of the characters.
This will easily be the best ensemble movie to be ever made. Now, we all thought, well, maybe just me, Ocean's 11 was a big breakthrough. You got my dad in there, my Uncle George in there, things you never really saw before. But now you have this. It is a massive ensemble cast, and a lot of them, pretty much everyone had chemistry together. Even like fucking Hawkeye and Nebula. And Nebula and Tony Stark in the beginning with a little football game. Yeah, so it was really great.
They were taking care of each other and fixing the ship together. It was very. It's weird because she's usually a bitch.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it. She's like, I'm having fun.
Yeah, everybody's dynamic was great, especially like during the fights. People were still like amazing. One part that like I even dreamt about over again was like fucking when they were tossing the glove around and Cap's like, "Yo, Queens, coming your way," and like the glove catches like with Spider-Man, and like that's dope because they're both like, if you've ever like lived in like ghettoish areas, it's like to say like you're from Queens and then you're from Brooklyn's, it's kind of like, well, for us it's like saying, oh, I'm from Watts, well, I'm from Compton. It's like,
or Hawthorne Inglewood.
It's great where that like when they first met, they're like, they're just regular kid from Brooklyn and kid from Queens.
Yeah,
and there's that
little connection.
That connection. And I mean, what was dope also, and then Paul Rudd and Cap. Dude, it's like, he's like, they were talking about his ass, and we're like, yeah, that suit did nothing for your ass.
America's ass.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd's like, man, no, I think you look great. Your ass is fine. That's America's ass. Like, that was dope. You know that basically Ant-Man was a Cap's underoos. If you think about it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like in Civil War, who like Cap brought him
That's
in.
true, yeah.
Just like how Tony brought Spider-Man in. And then that emotional hug. Oh. When he lands and he's like, hey, oh man. We just disappeared for a second and then came back, and then Doctor Strange was like, oh, there's a war going on, we need to go, and
he went full Morty. Oh jeez, Mrs. Stark. Oh jeez, Mrs. Stark.
Oh, that hug was emotional. I almost teared up a bit.
And then going back to character dynamics and chemistry, Star-Lord, the whole Guardians with Thor is probably the funniest thing. The last few minutes of Star-Lord and Thor going back and forth on control of leadership was one of the funniest things about the movie. Of course.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Like
Thor joining the Guardians?
Yeah, like,
well, they lost Gamora, so.
But you don't replace a Gamora with a Thor.
Have you seen Chris Hemsworth?
He's chubby.
I don't care.
Now.
Cuddly buddy.
I don't know. Gamora was great eye candy.
He banged an alien. You just gonna ignore that?
Who?
Star-Lord.
He never got to bang her.
He was going to bang her.
He was going to, but it didn't. He banged. Okay, but he banged plenty of other ones, which were mentioned. That he banged.
See, if you bang a humanoid alien, is it interspecies? Even if they're humanoid?
Does interspecies matter? Damn, man, you're so. I didn't know you were racist.
Is it a race? I'm just saying,
Speciesist?
it's crazy.
Wait, oh my God, speciesist. You're a speciesist.
You gotta bang an alien, you gotta tell people about it. That's crazy.
You know, when you gotta get yours, you get yours. The way that the girls work together. Oh my God, the hype between the female like power in this movie was amazing. Like they all got together and were like, "Oh, are you gonna be able to handle this on your own?" And then be like, "Oh, we got her back." And every single like strong female character just.
And it's funny because Captain Marvel was there, so they kind of didn't really need anybody else, but they were there just for that feel good moment.
That feel good movie.
I guess I don't like Captain Marvel. She was way too OP. Way too OP. Tony Stark is in space. What's he gonna do? Oh, Captain Marvel got him. All right, cool. Let's speed up the movie now.
You gotta admit, it was really cool when he punched her in the face and it just didn't phase her. He started breaking his hand.
But then he punched her again with the power stone and she flew away.
Well, yeah. But, that was dope though. It was like he popped the stone out, grabbed it, and just. Oh, that was really
Thanos
cool.
does not give a shit. He will throw a planet on you if he has to.
Well, technically, it was a moon.
Just okay. Just be cool, dude. It was a great image. Say, Ernie, what are you drinking there again? Can you remind the folks at home or wherever they are watching, what are you drinking there?
If this video is too long for you guys, we're sorry. We're going to blame it on Fat Tire, a very refreshing drink that has been fueling us this Sunday morning.
Fat Tire, please sponsor us.
We'll take anything. We'll take coasters.
I like a shirt. Time travel, the most controversial to me part of the movie because the movie had a lot of momentum going on. Infinity War set them up perfectly to get the final showdown ready. And like I said, they killed Thanos in the very beginning, and now they spend majority of the movie going back in time, possibly retconning stuff, and then doing all this head-scratching stuff. It seemed very convoluted to go to point A to point B, because that's the problem with time travel movies. You create more questions than you do with answers. But as Austin Powers said, don't think about it, just enjoy the movie. And that, to me, kind of sucked, and it felt a little lame, to be perfectly honest with you. To me, like, the only major flaw of this movie is the time travel aspect for the plot.
It raised a lot of questions. But, I mean, if you think about the Marvel comics, that's what makes X-Men so complicated to follow. Because X-Men is all about multiverses and time points. I mean, fucking Cable. Cable himself is a time-traveling mercenary, right? Like, his story is the most complicated out of everybody. And so that's the heart of Marvel. So, like, I feel like Endgame, this whole concept of time travel is what's going to lead to the next phase coming up.
Yeah.
Multiverses and time travel. Because Spider-Verse even hinted at, hey, we're going to start doing multiverses.
DC, can you stop doing that? How many Infinite Crises are you going to have? Stop rebooting your comics, please. You fuck up and then you do it again. Now what? Dr. Manhattan created the New 52? DC, reboot your shit because you fucked up. But anyways, yeah, the whole time traveling aspect of the movie was, to me, a major setback and fucked up the momentum and overall pacing, which at times felt like it was a 3-hour movie. But it's okay because Ant-Man gave us the greatest line in the whole movie. You telling me Back to the Future was full of shit? They totally Back to the Future to this movie. That was their blueprint to me for this movie. Is like, we're gonna go back and revisit old movies and then do this stuff and then make a new timeline. All they needed was Biff.
Wait, well, wouldn't Thanos be considered Biff?
It could be a Biff.
Thanos is Biff. Like,
can we get that photoshopped?
Yeah, we should. Oh my God, I just did it. How to explain this? So when they mentioned they were gonna do this whole time traveling thing, obviously Tony figured it out how to be able to navigate it because it's all going through the quantum realm. So it's not specific. It's not actually time travel, even though they said, hey, basically it's time travel. Technically, it's not. It's more like jumping to different universes in different points of time.
Right.
So if I had to like visually kind of like explain it, it's basically I'm reading this book. But Art, you have another copy of the same book.
Right.
So I'm going to grab your book.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back 100 pages.
Okay.
And then I'm going to rip this page out and bring it to my book.
All right.
Except the thing is, my story's still happening, and there's nothing I can change because I already read the other 100 pages.
Right.
So it's like, I can fuck with your book, though.
Not my book.
I can fuck with your book.
Not my book.
And I can fuck with my book, but except I can't fuck with the past pages that I already read.
It's okay because my pages, most here are stuck together. Don't ask why.
Well then. Anyway, so that's kind of how they explained it. That's why, what's her face say it again? Bald check.
I forget her name, but it was Tilda Swinton.
Yes. So she mentioned that it's crucial to bring back the stones because all you're going to be doing is creating different possibilities in different verses.
Right. Yeah. Again, like the whole timeline thing or time travel thing was this confusing, and it felt even a little lazy. Like when Ant-Man shows up, Tony Stark is like, that was like a 1 to a billion chance that you survive that, which means that, okay, for the sake of time traveling, he has to come back to make the movie go forward. So it felt a little too convenient, I guess. And then Tony Stark just magically made some new invention again, super quick. I know he's super smart, but it just felt a little too convenient for me. And what it really should have been was them ultimately building to the fight with Thanos and then getting their friends back. That was probably the safest way to do it. And I get they want to do something different and something cooler, but I think that's what we were all expecting, is just the build up to the final fucking showdown at the very end. Yeah. We got that, but the middle kind of took us in a scenic route.
Which I love going scenic routes a lot of the time, except when it raises more questions than answers. And like there's just so many things that just popped into my head. I mean, like for one, it's like, bro, Thor took the hammer out of a different universe and brought it into his. So that means that hammer is gone from that universe.
And Thor is just waiting to use it. It's not coming because that's Thor took it. And then Loki escaped too. Are we just gonna ignore that?
Well, technically, if Cap went back to that universe to return the stone, he could have fixed that glitch, but not exactly.
Didn't explain it, so therefore we got to nerd out about it for years to come.
Exactly, but again, it's a different universe, and I think because of Endgame, we don't care about those universes.
See, basically, Endgame is like, fuck your timeline, our timeline's better.
Exactly.
See, this is what time traveling does in your movie. You have idiots like us thinking of these insane theories and talking about it, and then we don't even know if we're right. We sound like complete dorks, but it's fun, but then it's like, you make things a little harder than they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and this is where it comes with my whole incest joke. Because honestly, it is incest because in Civil War, he makes out with a Carter who, isn't she basically Peggy Carter's granddaughter?
Yeah,
that's her granddaughter. So he basically made out with his granddaughter. But that's a big maybe though, because again, so
we don't know.
This is our Endgame, our universe that we watched. So in this universe, he makes out with his granddaughter. Except he went into another timeline to return the stones and supposedly stayed in that timeline, that universe, again, his book. And that's where he married Peggy and started his own family. But then again, why was he in our universe as an old man? That's what I don't get. So does that mean that the old Cap that we saw in our universe was actually from another universe that the same events happened and he came over to our universe to basically marry Peggy and create Sue Carter and just
Sharon
Carter, damn. So basically another version of Cap made out with his granddaughter.
And then he goes back into her timeline, which Steve Rogers is already in that timeline, but he's frozen. And you got Steve over here, our Steve, banging Peggy while frozen Steve's like, damn, I miss Peggy. Hope no one's banging her. But he's banging her. She cheated on him with him.
Time travel is wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Try to avoid time travel unless it's absolutely critical. Like in the fucking Superman movie, he flies so fast to go back in time to save Lois Lane because he fucked up.
No. Or Flash Paradox, where he saved his parents after how many years of wanting to do it and does it and then just fucks everything up.
Time travel. It saves your stories. Thank you, DC. Please try to avoid time travel. Just give us what we wanted. And by the way, why didn't Hulk fight Thanos? I wanted to see a good old slug between Hulk and Thanos, another potential hell yeah, let's stand up out of our chairs moment, but we didn't get it. Hulk hurt his arm.
That was Bruce Banner. It wasn't really Hulk anymore. It was a combination of both.
He's
not really a fighter.
If you think about it, we didn't get any Hulk in these Infinity War movies, and that to me is tragic.
He just got a really good beat down during Infinity War. Well, let us know what your guys' thoughts were when it comes to the whole time travel. We want to hear your guys' theories and thoughts. I mean, is it incest? Is it not incest? What happened to the hammer? Is it different universes fucked? Is the next phase going to be about cleaning up those universes?
And you would think that Endgame is the last movie in Phase 3, but apparently Far From Home is going to be the last movie in Phase 3. So how the hell is that going to work? This seemed like the perfect ending for this phase, But no, apparently according to Kevin Feige, that Far From Home will be the last movie in Phase 3. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know, but honestly, Endgame was really good. I loved it. Perfect ending. But I think Infinity War was the better movie. This felt like a Return of the Jedi type of thing. A lot of goofy moments, but a great ending.
So what is it that they said? They said that the next phase is they already have planned out for 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
And from what Kevin Feige said is that it's all about Captain Marvel taking over.
Oh boy. Does she really need any other Avengers?
I mean, I saw this thing where... I haven't seen the video yet, but there's a video where supposedly they grab a bunch of the press interviews they did for Endgame, and a lot of the other actors don't get along with Brie Larson.
No way.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the video and I'll link it. But like,
that sucks.
Yeah, supposedly they don't really get along with her, and I mean, her character is not a bad character, and she's amazing. It's just like I've made this point in my review where it's like she came in. She's a new kid. She's a new kid when graduation. Endgame's graduation. She showed up, and what we hear is that, hey, this is graduation, and she's coming in a few weeks before graduation, and guess what? She becomes valedictorian, and she has a job waiting for her after that, while everybody else is kind of working in fast food now.
I don't know. To me, her character didn't have any struggle, and no real struggle at least, and I can't really root for her because there was, to me, every hero needs a struggle, and she didn't have much of a struggle. But we're not here to review Captain Marvel. Yeah. We're here to talk about what the hell is going to happen next time. The thing that makes the most sense, Secret Invasion. We already got the scrolls. We got what they can do. That'd be cool. But I would like to see Galactus, but then we already have a super bad cosmic space villain, so probably not Galactus. But they do got him now.
Well, we have the Sony assets now, and like, Fox. Well, we have Fox assets, but we also have some Sony though, don't we? I don't because that's Spider-Man.
Well, no, Sony still has all of Spider-Man's characters. It's a working deal. So if they could, it's some sort of legal shit. Sony, just give it up, all right? Venom, come on.
Because there was talks, and there's rumors that I've heard where the next phase is supposed to involve Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yes. Give a Silver Surfer. Love that guy.
Because supposedly they mentioned that there's a chance that X-Men's not going to even be in the next phase. That's too much of a big universe and too short of a notice to like switch it over.
Yeah.
But we still have Fantastic Four, and that hasn't been properly made yet.
Ever. There's been 4 movies. There was that one in the 90s that was literally made just to keep the rights, and then we got the first 2 with Chris Evans, which is
Captain Torch.
And then we got that remake one, which is also made just to keep the rights. Fantastic Four has a movie curse.
Great cast, horrible writing.
Cast was okay, I think. I don't like the cast.
Michael B. Jordan.
He was okay. He was good. Why are we whispering?
Jessica Alba was great.
Anyways, so give us Silver Surfer, and maybe not give us all the X-Men, I guess, just to keep things like, casual for the casual viewers, but give us some of the X-Men, maybe Wolverine or Professor X.
Yeah, I don't know, like
Nightcrawler.
I'll make a video about this later, but I do kind of like feel like we've already graduated. We've already busted our nut with Endgame. It's like I feel like we might slowly actually end up start getting tired of Marvel.
There is the possibility of Marvel fatigue and like Star Wars fatigue.
And I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that video because like I have some very hardcore Marvel fans. I got downvoted on a Marvel video because I said that I still root for DC because I would love to see some good DC quality stuff. I mean, DC characters are great. It's just every single movie's been trash.
We live in a world where Aquaman and Shazam were better movies than anything with Batman or Superman in there.
Wonder Woman's still amazing no matter what.
You tell me that 10 years ago and I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Aquaman making $1 billion and Batman and Superman in the same movie, not even touching that. No, that's the world we live in. Let me get that reality stone if you got it.
Yeah. So let us know what your thoughts are for Phase 4. Come on, think about it. Phase 4, Fantastic Four. Come on. So let us know what you guys think. And I'm Journey.
I am Detective Artemis. And make sure you hit that notification button so you do not miss any quality content from me or my good butt buddy over here.
Fat Tiger, please sponsor us. But if you don't sponsor us,
we'll take anything at this point. Please, I need free stuff.
We can't get any sponsorship, so please support us by hitting the like button. It's free, and it helps us so much. Even if you don't want to subscribe, just hit like, and it's going to get us at least a few more views for people
That's
who
totally cool, too.
Actually like us and want to drink with us.
We are the guys from Movie Melee, and we love you 3000.